Finally, after all these months and years, Don Breithaupt joins me, Vickie Van Dyke, Wave 98.3. So great to see you.
You too, Vickie. Nice to hear your voice too.
Well, it's nice to know that you guys, Brass Transit, coming to Vancouver in January. So excited about the show with the VSO. Before we get to that, though, a little history on Brass Transit. You are the fearless leader.
I am not technically the fearless leader. No, I am one of the co-founders. But Tony, our trumpet player, Tony Carlucci, is the band leader.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you have a new-ish lead singer. Tell me about that.
Yeah, new-ish. It was a few years ago that we started calling ourselves the farm team for Chicago because they kind of poached our lead singer. So Neil Donnell is now the lead singer of Chicago, doing all the kind of high tenor stuff with them. And Ian Judson, our new singer in Brass Transit, is somebody that we've all been friends with and worked with over the years. I mean, if you add it all up, there's probably decades of history with Ian before he even joined this band, but he's just a phenomenal singer and a phenomenal showman. And, we haven't really lost a step. It's been great. It's been kind of seamless.
Well, we were so thrilled to have Chicago in Vancouver at the PNE with Neil, of course, singing lead. I personally have a big history with Ian Judson. And so I am thrilled personally that he is playing with you guys now, because I've worked with him. The Christmas album that I did years ago that you are on, I counted it up today. You were on 4 tracks on that album.
Yeah, I need to tell you that we had a Brass Transit video shoot yesterday, and Ian and I, with the two of us, were comparing notes on doing your Christmas record.
Oh, so, is that right?
Yeah, we realized that connection.
That's so fun. And he and I do a version of Baby It's Cold Outside. And I have a very specific singing voice. So my key is my key. I'll tell you, Ian Judson, he can just do any key. He was like, Vickie, it doesn't matter. That guy has pipes on top of his pipes, right?
He really does. And I mean, the Chicago book is not easy for a singer, and we do everything in the original key. And so he's wailing and belting out all those Peter Cetera songs in the original crazy keys.
Yeah, the guy's got a lot of talent, but everybody in the band. I mean, now Phil Papa is with the band, and we play Phil on the wave. Yes. What you see is what you get. Tony Carlucci. Who else? You've got a new percussionist?
Well, no, our drummer's always been the same, Paul DeLong, who people might know from the Kim Mitchell Band and a bunch of other projects. And Jay Spezielli is on bass and vocals. Doug Gibson is our trombone player. He's one of the busiest guys in Canada, does all the shows, et cetera, et cetera. And who am I forgetting? Oh, the
guitar.
Keyboard player, that's me.
Oh, no, yeah. guitar.
Yes, our guitar player is the newest member of the band, but again, somebody we have a lot of history with, Silvio Simone, who is an absolute knockout guitar player, brings the kind of rock star energy to stuff like 25 or 6 to 4 and Searching So Long. And
wow.
And he's a veteran of Tom Cochrane and Red Rider and a million other projects. So he's kind of road tested as well, and we're all great friends.
So now tell me, I know that you guys have worked with Symphonies before. Is this your first time with the VSO? Have you worked as Brass Transit with the VSO before?
This is our debut with the VSO, although I've recorded the VSO when I did this huge Eleanor McCain project back in 2017. We worked with 10 different orchestras, and Vancouver was one of the highlights. We recorded them in the CBC studio in Vancouver. And so, I mean, I already knew before I even worked with them that they were a world-class orchestra, as you people in Vancouver already know.
Yeah. Now, you are the guy that writes, is it called the score? You write, I mean, so.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good question. It's Lou Pamonti, who subs in for me with this band. And I wrote all the orchestral arrangements for the Pops version of the Brass Transit show. Part of that had to do with, we just had a limited amount of time to get it done when we booked our first gig, which I think I'm right in saying was Dayton, Ohio. And that'd be, I'm not sure how long ago now, at least 5 years. And so Lou and I both went through about 1,000 pencils, scratching out those charts, because, if I'm writing for Monkey House or the kind of thing that I usually do, I might be writing 4, 5, 6 horns at a time, but orchestral arrangements, you've got the full string section and woodwinds and brass and percussion, and it's all very deep and takes a long time, even if you're relatively efficient at it, which I think I am.
Well, you went to the Berklee School of Music in Boston. I know this. So
I
you would
did.
have the technical expertise to do these types of charts, right?
It is, after all, what I'm trained to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, hopefully I've got the tools. These arrangements now, we've played them enough over the last few years with orchestras that the kinks are all out of them, and they're quite elegant and lovely, and just a nice, there are Chicago songs that have some strings and orchestral instruments on them, particularly in the David Foster era. But then some of them had no strings or orchestral elements at all, and it was fun to kind of create that extra layer of frosting.
So that's like you actually becoming a member of Chicago and doing something fresh and new. Yeah.
Right. Although I don't think I'm getting paid what they do yet.
Yeah. And they're not going to poach you from Brass Transit, are they?
I don't think so. Well, one reason for that is I think that if Robert Lamb ever hangs it up, the keyboard player, de facto band leader of Chicago, who knows, that might be the end of them. He's sort of the kingpin of the whole thing at this point.
So now tell me, as an audience, so we don't understand all the technical aspects of this. We understand the entertainment aspect. So what is the difference between a regular Brass Transit show and what we're going to get in January with the VSO? What's the difference?
Well, in terms of repertoire, there's very little difference. There are slight differences in what we play. But most of the difference is we have 2 dedicated sections where the orchestra plays by themselves, where there's sort of a prelude to a Chicago song. So you get to hear the orchestra without a loud rock band drowning them out. And but I would say that what happens is the heights of the arrangements are even higher when you have an orchestra, sort of going full tilt at the crescendo points in a song.
Does it change the energy of the band? All of you, when you're playing with the orchestra, how does that affect your energy on stage?
Well, we try to do what we do. We actually talked about that when we were first doing these gigs. Do we adjust what we do to the kind of orchestral reality, or did they adjust to us? And we decided, we've gotten really good at doing what we do, so we just kind of we're downstage and we do our show. And as long as the conductor is communicating effectively with our drummer, everything goes off very well. And just, you hear sort of peeking through the cracks in the clouds, these beautiful other layers of sound that you're not used to hearing necessarily with these songs.
When you come to Vancouver, do you get like rehearsal time with the VSO, or just step on stage and hope for the best?
No, that's pretty standard that you do rehearse with an orchestra now. In most cases, it amounts to a run through because the arrangements are sort of bulletproof at this point.
Right.
So it's just a matter of running them down, making sure of tempos, beginnings and endings, and sort of stitching it together into a set with a minimum of pausing and head scratching.
Right.
That's what the rehearsal's for.
Well, all of us at Wave 98.3 are so excited about you guys coming to Vancouver, and it's just so fun because there's you, there's Phil, there's Ian, Tony, Luke Pamonti. We play you all on the Wave, so it's kind of like a nice little reunion of our Wave faves, as we like to call you guys.
Yes, we're all family at this point.
Absolutely. All right, Don Breithaupt, Monkey House leader, and we still play Newberry Street, by the way. So we play
that's
you,
nice.
Yes, by yourself, and of course with Brass Transit, and we're looking forward to seeing you in Vancouver in January. Makes a great Christmas present, I say. Those tickets stuff in a stocking just perfectly.
That's right.
So we'll see you with the VSO. Thank you for joining me, Vickie Van Dyke.
You bet.
Bye.
Thanks, Vickie.